In an intriguing exploration of the bond between humans and their canine companions, recent findings suggest that dogs not only share physical traits with their owners but also exhibit similar behavioral patterns. This phenomenon, highlighted in a report from The Economist, draws on a growing body of research indicating that the resemblance between dogs and their humans intensifies over time, underscoring the profound connection that can develop between pet and owner. The relationship between humans and dogs is often celebrated as one of the most enduring partnerships in history. However, the report reveals a more complex dynamic, particularly when it comes to the selection of family pets. It notes that adopting a dog that does not resonate with the owner's lifestyle or personality can lead to emotional distress and financial strain. For instance, guide dogs, which can cost upwards of $50,000 to train, are often returned, about one-third of them, due to an inadequate match with their designated handlers. This statistic highlights the crucial need for compatibility in the human-animal bond. The implications of these findings are significant not only for prospective dog owners but also for breeders and trainers. Understanding that dogs can mirror human characteristics may inform better breeding practices aimed at enhancing compatibility. Additionally, trainers might consider these behavioral parallels when matching dogs with potential owners, ensuring a more harmonious relationship. Moreover, the article points to the increasing recognition of emotional intelligence in dogs. The ability of dogs to respond to human emotions and vice versa may play a pivotal role in reinforcing these similarities over time. As dogs integrate into their owners' lives, they may adopt not only their physical traits but also their mannerisms and behaviors, creating a unique familial bond that transcends species. As society continues to evolve, the relationship between humans and dogs is likely to deepen, leading to further research and insights into this fascinating connection. The growing appreciation for the emotional and psychological benefits of pet ownership may also inspire new initiatives aimed at fostering better matches between dogs and owners. With a deeper understanding of how dogs reflect their owners, we may soon see innovative programs designed to enhance compatibility, ensuring that both parties thrive in this cherished companionship. The future could hold exciting developments in our understanding of the canine-human bond, paving the way for more fulfilling relationships between pets and their families. As the excitement builds for the American Southwest Conference tournament, the LeTourneau University softball team is poised to make a significant impact. After a strong finish to the regular season, winning 3 of their last 4 games, the Yellow Jackets are entering the tournament with momentum and aspirations of success. Their journey begins on Thursday at 1 p.m. when they face off against the number 5 seed Howard Payne in Marshall, Texas. LeTourneau, seeded 4th in the tournament, boasts a 15-25 overall record this season and is looking to build on their recent performances. Notably, they swept Howard Payne during the regular season, outscoring them a staggering 62-6 across 4 games. In their last series, the Yellow Jackets displayed their prowess with a solid split against UT Dallas and a sweep of the University of Mary Hardin-Baylor, which has fueled their confidence heading into the tournament. The team's batting lineup shows impressive depth, with several players maintaining averages above .300. Leading the charge is Leighton Landreth, who has a .383 batting average and is the team leader with 7 home runs. Jackie Taylor, another standout performer, follows closely with a .352 average. Together, they have contributed significantly to the team's collective batting average of .308, which includes a notable 24 home runs and 58 doubles this season. Pitching also plays a crucial role in LeTourneau's strategy. Kirsten Ferguson and Lainey Taylor are tied for the team lead in wins, each contributing 6 victories this season. Ferguson holds a 4.81 ERA with 62 strikeouts, while Taylor has a slightly higher ERA of 4.89 but has also shown resilience on the mound. Their performances will be vital as the Yellow Jackets seek to advance in the tournament. In the broader context of the tournament, LeTourneau is making its 9th appearance, aiming to improve on a tournament history that includes a mixed bag of results. Having gone 3-2 last year, their recent form gives them a fighting chance against formidable opponents, including the top-seeded East Texas Baptist University. which has had a stellar season with a 37-3 record. The tournament field is competitive, featuring teams such as number 2 Hardin-Simmons and number 3 Mary Hardin-Baylor, both of which have had their share of successes this season. Hardin-Simmons enters with a strong 31-8 record, while Mary Hardin-Baylor holds a solid 24-14 mark. This mix of talent sets the stage for what promises to be an exciting tournament filled with high-stakes competition. As the tournament unfolds, all eyes will be on the Yellow Jackets as they attempt to leverage their recent successes and make a deep run in the postseason. The outcome will not only reflect their current form but also set the tone for future seasons. With a blend of seasoned talent and promising newcomers, LeTourneau University softball could be on the brink of reclaiming its status as a powerhouse in the American Southwest Conference. The excitement is palpable. And the journey starts now. In the pursuit of beauty and style, many individuals turn to salon treatments that promise stunning transformations. However, recent revelations about the health risks associated with popular chemical hair straightening products have raised alarm among experts and consumers alike. As more evidence emerges linking these treatments to serious health issues including cancer and reproductive disorders, the conversation about safety in the beauty industry is becoming increasingly urgent. Meredith Padak, a hairstylist based in Washington, D.C., experienced a dramatic shift in her health after years of working with chemical hair products. She began to suffer from an unusual condition known as multiple chemical sensitivity (MCS), which left her unable to tolerate even the faintest chemical odors. "The pounding in my brain and skull and spine and eyes and ears, it was a nightmare to be in that much pain," she recounts, emphasizing the profound impact her work environment had on her health. Padak's case, while extreme, underscores a troubling trend. Hairstylists and salon workers are increasingly reporting health complications linked to the chemicals present in hair straighteners. These products often contain dangerous substances such as formaldehyde phthalates and polyfluoroalkyl substances PFAS, known for their adverse health effects. A study conducted by the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences (NIHS) revealed that women, particularly black women who frequently used chemical hair straighteners, were more than twice as likely to develop uterine cancer compared to those who do not use these products. Such findings have prompted thousands of lawsuits against manufacturers alleging negligence in their duty to inform consumers about the potential risks associated with these treatments. Astrid Williams, an adjunct professor at the University of Phoenix and environmental justice advocate, highlights the systemic issues faced by salon workers. Studies show that salon workers suffer from significantly higher rates of disease compared to other occupations, she states, emphasizing the need for better protections for those exposed to hazardous chemicals daily. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration (OSHA) does impose regulations on workplace chemical exposure, but many salon workers are classified as independent contractors, leaving them vulnerable and without the same protections afforded to traditional employees. Despite the mounting evidence of health risks, regulatory action has been slow. The Food and Drug Administration (FDA) has repeatedly missed deadlines to propose a ban on formaldehyde in cosmetics, leaving many in the industry feeling unsupported. An FDA representative acknowledged that the agency is prioritizing this issue but emphasized the complexities involved in the rulemaking process. The regulatory landscape surrounding cosmetic safety is fraught with challenges. Unlike pharmaceuticals and food products, cosmetics are not required to undergo pre-market approval, leading to a reliance on post-market surveillance that often falls short. The European Union has taken a more aggressive approach, banning or restricting over 2,500 chemicals in cosmetics since 1976, while the FDA has only restricted 11 substances in the same timeframe. This discrepancy has prompted concerns about consumer safety and the efficacy of existing regulations in protecting salon workers and clients alike. Furthermore, ingredient labels on cosmetic products often obfuscate potentially harmful chemicals. While the Fair Packaging and Labeling Act mandates that companies provide a complete list of ingredients, the use of vague terms like fragrance allows manufacturers to bypass disclosing harmful substances. For salon workers, identifying dangerous chemicals can be daunting, especially given the myriad synonyms under which these substances may be listed. For hairstylists like Opal Baedeker, the lack of transparency and education surrounding chemical exposures has dire consequences. Baedeker, who has experienced debilitating health issues from chemical exposure, notes it's absolutely ridiculous to expect anyone to know what all of these ingredients are. Without clear labeling and more stringent regulations, many salon professionals remain unwittingly at risk. As the beauty industry grapples with these revelations, it faces a critical moment of reckoning. Consumers are increasingly aware of the potential dangers associated with chemical hair treatments, and many are advocating for safer alternatives. The conversation around health and safety in the salon environment must continue to evolve, pushing for regulatory reforms that prioritize the well-being of both workers and clients. Looking ahead, the future of salon treatments may hinge on the industry's ability to adapt to these challenges. With an increasing demand for transparency and safety, there is an opportunity for innovation in product formulation and regulation. As more studies emerge and voices like Padax and Baedeker's gain visibility, it is imperative for industry stakeholders to prioritize health alongside beauty, ensuring that salon treatments do not come at the cost of safety. The path forward will require collaboration among consumers, regulators, and manufacturers to create a beauty landscape that champions both aesthetics and health. In an alarming development for the medical community and advocates of free speech, the interim U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia has initiated a review of several prominent medical journals. This scrutiny raises significant concerns about the potential influence of political agendas on scientific discourse and the integrity of public health information. Among the journals under examination are the New England Journal of Medicine, Chest, and JAMA, all of which play pivotal roles in disseminating research and shaping healthcare policies. Dr. Eric Rubin, editor-in-chief of the New England Journal of Medicine, expressed his apprehension regarding the letters sent by the Justice Department, stating, "We were concerned because there were questions that suggested that we may be biased in the research we report." This statement encapsulates a broader fear within the scientific community that governmental inquiry could undermine the independence of research and the peer review process that is vital to maintaining scientific rigor. The letters raised questions about potential biases stemming from funding sources and the representation of competing viewpoints. However, the fundamental principles underlying medical journal operations, particularly the double-blind peer review system, serve to minimize such biases. In this system, experts evaluate submitted articles without knowing the identities of the authors and vice versa, ensuring that the focus remains solely on the quality and veracity of the research. Medical journals are essential not only for the scientific community but also for the general public. They provide the evidence-based information necessary for informed decision-making regarding health policies, vaccine recommendations, and treatment guidelines. The rigorous peer review process ensures that the research published is credible and reliable, contributing significantly to advancements in medical knowledge and public health. The federal scrutiny has been perceived by many as a potential threat to free speech and scientific inquiry. Critics argue that such actions could lead to a chilling effect where researchers may self-censor or withhold findings that contradict prevailing governmental narratives, particularly in areas as sensitive as vaccines and public health responses. A notable concern is that this kind of intervention mirrors past governmental actions that sought to control health information dissemination, which has historically resulted in public health crises such as the recent measles outbreaks linked to vaccine misinformation. As Dr. Rubin articulated, medical journals should be free and safe from any sort of political censorship. The potential ramifications of federal interference in medical publishing extend beyond the immediate implications for journal integrity. They threaten the very foundation of democracy and informed citizenship. If the government selectively influences scientific discourse, it not only silences scientists but also deprives the public of critical health information necessary for making personal medical decisions. The implications of this situation underscore the necessity for an unencumbered scientific dialogue that is based on data rather than ideology. The medical community's ability to challenge prevailing narratives and provide evidence-based recommendations is crucial, particularly in an age where misinformation can proliferate rapidly through social media channels. Looking ahead, the future of medical journalism may hinge upon the outcomes of this scrutiny. The collective response from the scientific community alongside public advocacy for the preservation of free speech and research will play a vital role in determining whether these journals can continue to operate without fear of reprisal or censorship. As the conversation surrounding health information and its governance evolves, it remains imperative that the integrity of medical research is preserved for the sake of public health and informed decision-making. A high-stakes family feud is brewing over the future of Rupert Murdoch's expansive media empire, with a Nevada court hearing on the horizon that promises to shed light on the intricate legal battles surrounding the media mogul's legacy. As one of the most powerful figures in modern media, Murdoch's influence extends through outlets such as Fox News, The Wall Street Journal, and The New York Post. However, the question of who will ultimately control these assets after his passing has ignited a contentious dispute among his children. On May 7, 2025, the Nevada Supreme Court is set to hear arguments regarding a family trust that governs the distribution of Murdoch's empire among his 4 children, Lachlan, Prudence, Elizabeth, and James. Reports suggest that Rupert Murdoch is seeking to amend the trust to solidify Lachlan's rule over the empire, aiming to maintain its conservative editorial direction, particularly for Fox News. This has been met with resistance from Prudence, Elizabeth, and James, who have united against their father's proposed changes. The implications of this dispute are profound, not only for the Murdoch family but for the media landscape as a whole. Lachlan Murdoch has already been at the helm since his father's retirement in 2023. And his leadership style and political views are closely aligned with those of his father. In contrast, James and Elizabeth have been characterized as having more liberal perspectives, raising questions about the editorial future of their father's media outlets should they gain influence. The legal proceedings have so far taken place largely behind closed doors, with many key documents sealed from public view. However, the New York Times has reported on some of the proceedings, revealing a probate commissioner's ruling against Rupert Murdoch, which described his attempts to alter the trust as a carefully crafted charade aimed at ensuring Lachlan's continued control over the empire, irrespective of the impact on other beneficiaries. This characterization underscores the contentious nature of the family dynamics at play. Adam Streisand, an attorney representing Rupert Murdoch, expressed disappointment over the previous ruling and indicated plans to appeal. The upcoming hearing could potentially open the floodgates to a wealth of information regarding the family's internal conflicts and the strategies employed by Rupert Murdoch to secure a conservative legacy posthumously. As the media landscape evolves, the outcome of this court case could have far-reaching consequences, potentially influencing the editorial direction of major news outlets and shaping the political discourse in America. The Murdoch family saga is reminiscent of the high-stakes drama depicted in popular media, yet the stakes here are real and impactful. Looking ahead, analysts will be closely watching the Nevada court's decision and its implications for both the Murdoch family and the broader media industry. This case may serve as a pivotal moment not just for the future of the Murdoch empire but for the ongoing conversation about media influence, ownership, and political bias in journalism. As the situation unfolds, it remains a reminder of the complexities and challenges inherent in the intersection of family wealth and power in the modern media landscape. In a significant development for global markets, recent news surrounding US-China trade negotiations has buoyed stock prices as investors remain cautiously optimistic about the potential for a de-escalation of ongoing trade tensions. This anticipation comes on the heels of a series of high-stakes discussions set to take place this weekend in Switzerland between top U.S. officials and their Chinese counterparts, marking the highest-level talks since President Trump's aggressive tariff policies were enacted in early April. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer are slated to meet with Chinese Vice Premier He Lifeng. A gathering that has reignited hopes for a resolution to the trade war that has seen tariffs soar to unprecedented levels. President Trump himself has hinted at a possible softening of the punitive 145% tariffs imposed on Chinese imports, stating during an NBC interview that he would eventually need to reduce them to facilitate business. "At some point I'm going to lower them," Trump said, recognizing the current state of trade relations as unsustainable. This backdrop of potential thawing relations comes as companies across various sectors begin to report the financial impacts of the tariffs. For instance, Ford has indicated that the recent tariff hikes could result in a staggering $1.5 billion hit to its earnings this year, prompting the automaker to withdraw its previous financial guidance. Similarly, Mattel has announced plans to increase prices on its products due to an estimated $270 million in added costs linked to tariffs. The ripple effects of these tariffs extend beyond the borders of the US and China. Reports indicate that the European Union is preparing to impose additional tariffs on over $100 billion worth of US goods if trade discussions fail to yield favorable outcomes. Such measures could target American automobiles and even Boeing jets should negotiations falter. European Commissioner for Trade Maros Šefčovič has emphasized that while they prioritize negotiations, they are prepared to act if necessary. As discussions loom, the sentiment among investors remains mixed. While some market sectors have responded positively to the prospect of negotiations, others are bracing for continued volatility. The uncertainty surrounding U.S. trade policy has already prompted a slowdown in mergers and acquisitions, which fell to a 20-year low in April. As companies hesitate to commit to significant financial decisions amid unclear market conditions. On the international front, developments in India also play a critical role in the broader trade landscape. Trump has claimed that India has agreed to eliminate tariffs on U.S. goods, a move that could further reshape trade dynamics. Meanwhile, Canada's new Prime Minister Mark Carney is navigating a delicate relationship with the U.S. amid ongoing tariff disputes and rhetoric suggesting a potential annexation of Canada. As the weekend approaches, all eyes will be on the outcomes of the upcoming U.S.-China trade talks. The implications of these discussions could determine not only the path forward for U.S.-China relations but also the trajectory of global markets, with analysts predicting that a comprehensive trade deal may still be a lengthy process. The immediate focus will be on any signs of goodwill and the potential for reduced tariffs to relieve some of the economic pressures that have been building in recent months. Looking ahead, the coming weeks will be pivotal as markets react to the results of these negotiations and the broader ramifications of U.S. trade policy. Whether the optimism surrounding these discussions leads to tangible outcomes remains to be seen, but the stakes are undeniably high for businesses and economies around the world. In a remarkable blend of science and self-experimentation, researchers have developed a groundbreaking anti-venom utilizing the blood of a dedicated snake collector who has subjected himself to over 600 doses of venom. This innovative therapy, which has shown promise in protecting mice from the venoms of 19 species of venomous snakes including the notorious king cobra, raises both hope for future treatments and ethical concerns surrounding its origins. The research published in the journal Cell combines the existing drug Verisplatin, known for its enzyme-inhibiting properties, with antibodies derived from the blood of Tim Fried, a US-based snake enthusiast who has been bitten approximately 200 times. This unique cocktail is designed to offer a broader range of protection than traditional antivenoms, which are typically limited to a small number of snake species and are produced by injecting animals such as horses with snake venom to elicit an immune response. Jacob Glanville, co-author of the study and CEO of biomedical company Centivax, emphasized the importance of Fried's contributions while also cautioning against replicating his dangerous self-exposure. "We did not advise Fried to do this," he stated. "And no one else needs to do this again. We have all the molecules we need." This sentiment underscores the ethical dilemma posed by the research. Can we justify using data from a person who has willingly endangered himself in the pursuit of scientific advancement? Current antivenoms often fall short in efficacy, with many only effective against a few specific venoms. As Kartik Sunagara, a biologist from the Indian Institute of Science, indicated, it is unacceptable to continue relying on these outdated methods for treating snake bites, especially given the advanced immunological technologies available today. The research team aimed to create an antivenom that could combat a broader spectrum of the world's 600-plus venomous snake species, particularly focusing on the Elapide family, which includes many highly dangerous snakes. In their work, the scientists utilized blood samples from free to isolate antibodies that target specific toxins. The study's results were promising. The combination of varisplatin and Freed's antibodies allowed mice to survive lethal doses of venom from various elapid snakes. The antibodies specifically bound to molecular features shared by different toxin families, enhancing the antivenom's effectiveness. Despite the encouraging findings, the road ahead is fraught with challenges. Experts like Jean-Philippe Chipox, a specialist in venomous snake bites, pointed out that the primary hurdle in addressing snakebite fatalities is not the efficacy of treatments but rather the timely administration of antivenoms. We need to think about ways to bring antivenoms closer to the areas where venomous snakebites occur, he noted, emphasizing that even the best antivenoms will fail if not delivered promptly. Blandville and his team are already considering practical applications for their findings. Plans are underway to test the experimental treatment in dogs that have suffered snake bites in Australia, an approach that could provide real-world evidence of its effectiveness before moving to human trials. As the scientific community grapples with the implications of this research, the ethical questions surrounding self-experimentation become increasingly pertinent. The potential for broad-spectrum antivenoms derived from human antibodies presents an exciting frontier in medical science, but it also necessitates a careful examination of the moral landscape from which such innovations emerge. The future of snakebite treatment may hinge not only on scientific breakthroughs but also on how society navigates the complex interplay between ethics, health, and human sacrifice in the name of progress. A recent study published in the Journal of Human Hypertension has brought to light an underexplored aspect of APOL1-mediated kidney disease, particularly its connection to salt-sensitive hypertension among African Americans. This form of kidney disease, known as APOL1-mediated kidney disease (AMKD), is a significant health crisis affecting approximately 38 million African Americans of slave descent. Researchers have identified that the G1 and G2 variants of the apolipoprotein L1 APOL1 gene, which are prevalent in West Africa, are found in about one-third of the black population in the United States. Individuals carrying both variants or two copies of one face a staggering 13% risk of developing kidney failure due to AMKD. The study highlights that while chronic kidney disease (CKD) also afflicts individuals of non-West African ancestry, the triggers vary significantly. For these populations, CKD arises from a broader spectrum of causes, including systemic hypertension, heart disease, and autoimmune disorders, rather than the singular genetic predisposition linked to APOL1. A critical yet overlooked symptom in the early stages of AMKD is salt-sensitive hypertension. This form of hypertension has not received adequate attention in the medical community, leading to a gap in understanding its role in the progression of kidney disease in Black patients. The implications of this oversight are profound. Addressing salt sensitivity could be a pivotal step in prevention strategies. Constance B. Hilliard, the author of the study, reflects on the historical context of salt in relation to African American health, noting a personal connection from her years studying the chronicles of 16th and 17th century Timbuktu. The constancy of the sodium-triggered progression of Black susceptibility to chronic kidney disease is a reminder of the historical significance of salt in these communities. Hilliard states, "The study's findings are crucial as they underscore the necessity for more targeted research and health interventions that consider the unique genetic and environmental factors influencing kidney health in Black Americans." This clarion call for action is particularly relevant given the rising rates of chronic kidney disease across diverse populations. As the medical community begins to take note of the importance of salt sensitivity in kidney disease, we can anticipate a shift in both research focus and treatment approaches. There is hope that increased awareness will lead to improved health outcomes for those at risk, particularly among vulnerable populations historically burdened by health disparities. Future developments in genetic research coupled with a deeper understanding of environmental influences may pave the way for effective prevention and treatment strategies against APOL1-mediated kidney disease. In the ever-evolving landscape of academia, leadership transitions can significantly impact institutional culture and direction. Recently, Ohio State University announced the appointment of Aravind Chandrasekaran as the interim dean of the Fisher College of Business. This decision comes at a time when business schools worldwide are grappling with the rapid technological changes and the shifting dynamics of the global economy. Chandrasekaran, who has been a faculty member at Fisher since 2010, is highly regarded for his expertise in operations and decision sciences. His appointment follows the departure of the previous dean, a transition that has raised questions about the future direction of the college. I am excited about the opportunity to serve as interim dean and am committed to supporting our faculty, staff, and students during this time of transition, Chandrasekaran stated in a press release. His leadership will be pivotal as the college seeks to adapt its curriculum to meet the demands of an increasingly digital and interconnected world. The Fisher College of Business has a storied history known for its rigorous academic programs and strong emphasis on research. As businesses increasingly integrate artificial intelligence and data analytics into their operations, the college faces the challenge of ensuring that its graduates are equipped with the necessary skills to thrive. Under Chandrasekaran's guidance, there is potential for a renewed focus on integrating technology into the business curriculum, which is essential for preparing students for the complexities of the modern workforce. Chandrasekaran's background in operations management will be crucial in navigating these challenges. His research has involved exploring the intersection of technology and business processes, making him well-suited to lead discussions on how to incorporate innovative practices into the college's offerings. We are at a critical juncture where technology is reshaping the business landscape, and it is vital that our educational approach reflects these changes, he noted. In recent years, business education has come under scrutiny for its relevance in a rapidly changing job market. With the rise of digital platforms and the growing importance of data-driven decision-making, business schools must evolve to remain competitive. This reality underscores the significance of Chandrasekaran's appointment as the college looks to enhance its technological capabilities and ensure that its programs are aligned with industry needs. As interim dean, Chandrasekaran will also be tasked with fostering a sense of community and collaboration among faculty and students. The importance of maintaining a supportive and innovative environment cannot be overstated, particularly as the college navigates challenges posed by the ongoing pandemic and the shift toward hybrid learning models. My goal is to ensure that we not only maintain our academic excellence but also enhance the experience of our community members, he remarked. Looking ahead, the strategic direction set by Chandrasekaran will likely shape the Fisher College of Business for years to come. As he steps into this interim role, all eyes will be on his leadership to see how he addresses the pressing issues of technology integration, curriculum development, and community engagement. The future of business education at Ohio State University may very well hinge on his ability to inspire innovation and foster resilience in a time of unprecedented change. In the evolving landscape of cybersecurity, the importance of robust password management cannot be overstated. Recently, a significant breach in best practices came to light involving Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, who reportedly reused a weak password across multiple accounts for several years. This revelation raises pressing questions regarding the security protocols adhered to by high-ranking officials who manage sensitive information. According to an investigation by Wired, Gabbard's password was found to be easily cracked and was utilized for various online accounts, including those linked to her personal website and Gmail. The data was uncovered through databases compiled by open-source intelligence firms District 4 Labs and Constellan Intelligence, which cataloged previous data breaches. These breaches dating back to her tenure in Congress from 2013 to 2021 revealed that Gabbard had utilized the same password for her Dropbox and LinkedIn accounts as well as MyFitnessPal and Outlook accounts. The password in question contains the term Shraddha, which appears to have personal significance for Gabbard, reportedly linked to her initiation into the Science of Identity Foundation, an organization associated with the Hare Krishna movement. This connection has drawn scrutiny, especially given the foundation's controversial reputation, with former members labeling it a cult. Gabbard's spokesperson Olivia Coleman attempted to mitigate the fallout by asserting that the breaches occurred nearly a decade ago and that her passwords have since been changed multiple times. However, the implications of such security lapses remain a cause for concern, particularly in light of Gabbard's role overseeing national intelligence and security matters. Cybersecurity experts have long warned against the reuse of passwords, emphasizing that such practices expose individuals to heightened risks, particularly when compromised credentials can be leveraged to gain access to multiple accounts. The Cybersecurity Infrastructure and Security Agency (CISA) strongly advises the use of password managers to create unique, complex passwords for each account, ideally exceeding 16 characters. Given Gabbard's position, the stakes are even higher. She oversees the United States intelligence community, which includes agencies like the CIA and NSA, and is responsible for securing some of the country's most sensitive information. The fallout from this incident is compounded by Gabbard's recent involvement in a high-profile Signal Group chat leak where discussions about military operations inadvertently reached the public domain. Critics of Gabbard have seized upon these lapses, questioning her ability to safeguard national security. The Democratic National Committee has characterized her as a direct threat to our national security, citing her controversial statements regarding foreign leaders and her connections to conspiracy theorists. In her defense, Gabbard has articulated that accusations against her are politically motivated, asserting those who oppose my nomination imply that I am loyal to something or someone other than God, my own conscience, and the Constitution of the United States. This assertion highlights the complexities of her political landscape, where her critics attempt to frame her security practices as reflective of deeper issues regarding her allegiance and capabilities. As the field of cybersecurity continues to evolve, Gabbard's case serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities that can arise from neglecting fundamental security protocols. With the rapid advancement of technology and increasing sophistication of cyber threats, the importance of adhering to best practices in password management cannot be understated. Going forward, this incident may prompt a renewed focus on cybersecurity training for public officials, ensuring that those responsible for national security not only have access to sensitive information but also the tools and knowledge to protect it effectively. As the digital landscape grows ever more complex, the necessity for robust security measures will remain a focal point in safeguarding the integrity of national intelligence. In its annual roundup, Washingtonian magazine has unveiled its list of the 500 most influential people in Washington, D.C. for 2025, a compilation that highlights key figures outside the government who actively shape policy debates across various sectors. As the nation grapples with an evolving political landscape, this year's selections reflect a range of expertise and perspectives necessary for navigating new challenges. The selection process remains rigorous, focusing on individuals with deep subject matter knowledge who can effectively drive action in the Capitol. Washingtonian's president and CEO Catherine Merrill emphasized that the list excludes current elected officials and staffers, instead spotlighting those who bring valuable insights from their prior governmental roles or who may influence future policy decisions. What unites all of them is their passion for understanding policy issues and their ability to move them forward, Merrill stated. Among the noteworthy newcomers featured this year are Robert Doar from the American Enterprise Institute, who focuses on conservative welfare policies, Bruce Harris of Walmart, whose expertise in global supply chain management is increasingly relevant, and Mike Zamore from the American Civil Liberties Union, who is at the forefront of civil rights advocacy. These individuals exemplify the diverse array of influencers who engage with pressing issues such as healthcare, economic policy, national security, and civil rights. The list is divided into several categories reflecting the multifaceted nature of policymaking in the capital. For instance, in the realm of antitrust law, figures like Seth Bloom from Bloom Strategic Counsel and Barry Lynn of the Open Markets Institute are recognized for their efforts to ensure fair competition and address monopolistic practices by major corporations. Similarly, in banking and finance, leaders like Tim Adams from the Institute of International Finance and Greg Baer from the Bank Policy Institute advocate for stability and regulatory reforms in the financial sector. In the context of civil rights and criminal justice, the inclusion of activists like Chris Brown from the Brady campaign highlights ongoing efforts to address gun violence and advocate for stronger regulations. Meanwhile, experts in climate and environment such as Alexandra Adams from the Natural Resources Defense Council are crucial in shaping policies that respond to the urgent challenges posed by climate change. The list also underscores the critical role of influencers in education, immigration, and foreign affairs, showcasing how their expertise can drive meaningful change. For example, Mario Beavides of the Naleo Educational Fund champions initiatives aimed at improving educational access for diverse communities, while Heidi Altman of the National Immigration Law Center focuses on advocating for fair immigration policies. As the political landscape shifts, the influence of these individuals extends beyond mere advocacy. They are instrumental in shaping the future of American policy across a spectrum of issues. Their collective efforts illustrate a commitment to addressing the complexities of governance in a rapidly changing world. In conclusion, as we look ahead to the coming years, the significance of these influential figures will only grow. With new challenges arising, their expertise and advocacy will be essential in navigating the intricate web of policymaking in Washington, D.C. The 2025 list serves not just as a recognition of their contributions, but as a reminder of the vital role that informed and engaged citizens play in shaping the democratic process. In an age where data is often likened to the new oil, finding relatable ways to communicate its enormity remains a challenge. A recent discussion sparked by New Scientist's feedback column posed an intriguing question: would snails be a more effective metaphor for explaining big data than whales? This inquiry emerged following a suggestion that the genome of the blue whale could serve as a benchmark for visualizing large datasets. However, as reader Bruce Horton pointed out, while the size of a blue whale is easily conceptualized, the genetic material of such a colossal creature is not. Horton's critique underscores a fundamental issue in communicating scientific concepts, specifically the difficulty in relating abstract data sizes to tangible objects. He reminisced about the era of the Human Genome Project, where comparisons often involved images of stacked Bibles or other unwieldy analogies. Instead, Horton proposed a novel unit of measurement, the SNL-based data transfer protocol SNAP, which humorously illustrates that a giant African land snail can transfer data faster than existing broadband connections. This lighthearted take on scientific communication invites further exploration of how we can use intuitive examples to clarify complex ideas. In a different realm of science, our understanding of the ocean's depths continues to be alarmingly limited. A recent analysis revealed that a staggering 99.999% of the deep seabed remains unexplored by humans despite decades of deep-sea submersible research. The oceans, which cover 71% of the Earth's surface, present vast areas that are still only mapped via satellite and sonar technology, leaving the actual observations of the seabed at less than 0.001%. This stark statistic highlights not only the vastness of our planet but also the significant gaps in our scientific knowledge, emphasizing the need for more ambitious exploration efforts. Meanwhile, the global scientific community is witnessing a potential shift in talent dynamics, particularly as the European Union launches a $565 million initiative to attract researchers from the United States. This move comes in the wake of funding cuts to U.S. research programs during the Trump administration, which have prompted disillusionment among scientists. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen articulated a vision of Europe becoming a magnet for researchers, underscoring the importance of science and fostering collaboration and innovation in a fragmented world.
The initiative aims to provide long-term support for researchers, enhance recruitment, and ultimately bolster Europe's commitment to scientific advancement.
As countries vie to attract top talent, the competition intensifies. While the US has historically been the epicenter of scientific research, the current climate presents an opportunity for other nations to reclaim some of that ground. Various European countries, recognizing the exodus of their own researchers and the potential for new recruits from the US, are ramping up their efforts to create appealing research environments. On the frontiers of neuroscience, recent studies are shedding light on how the brain's wiring changes during learning processes. This emerging research has the potential to revolutionize our understanding of cognitive development and educational methods. The intricate relationships between neural pathways and learning outcomes could pave the way for innovative approaches in education therapy and beyond. As we navigate through these diverse realms of scientific inquiry, from the metaphorical use of snails in big data to the vast unexplored oceans in shifting research landscapes, the common thread remains the quest for understanding. The future promises further revelations as new technologies and collaborative efforts may illuminate the shadows of our current knowledge, transforming the way we perceive and interact with the world around us. As scientists and researchers continue to challenge the boundaries of what we know, the implications for society, education, and innovation are boundless, inviting us all to engage in the exploration ahead.